This is the home.html file, which is the home page for my assignment 9 website. The head information rather contains some information used by the website. In particular, up here we have some stuff used by Bootstrap. These two particular links are for the CSS files, the style files used by Bootstrap's components, externally referenced to a CDN provider. This script external reference is also hosted by a CDN provider. It contains the latest compiled JavaScript for Bootstrap. The title element below it just listed as my home page. The link URL here is the style sheet, main style sheet for the page, which is stored as sitestyle.css in the folder here. Over here we have the body section. The first block is the navigation bar code block inside of this fluid container. This is a flexibly sized container that will adjust based on the size of the device. The first element here is a blank URL reference. It's just labeled as John's page, sort of to label it, label the menu bar up there. Here we have an unordered list that contains the elements that we link to on the navigation bar: home, videos, registration, each referencing to a specific HTML file stored in the folder as well. Down here we have the Facebook code provided for the like button that's used below. Up here we have a header just listing it as John's page, and we have another fluid container with a row split into two individual columns, each equally sized at 6 each. The first one contains the bio information in a paragraph block. The second contains the photo along with a caption listing what the photo is of. The photo has been scaled down to 30% and uses the john.jpg file in the folder. This section here is for the like button. They got a label up top just listing what it's for and the required code for the like button. This is the registration.html file for the website. It contains the registration page. The head block is the same except for the title. In the script section here we have the check password function that's written. It receives input text, compares it to the passw variable, which contains the password complexity requirements: 10 to 20 characters, at least one number as a digit, and one upper and lowercase letter. Based on whether it matches those requirements, basically, it returns true or false, and if it does false, it also displays a little alert message. In the body section here, we have a div code block, which is the navigation bar. Down here, we have another div code block, which has a fluid container containing the registration form. The form name is form 1. If it's successful, it displays thankyou.html. It sends data, meaning it's a method post, and its role as a form. Down here, we have the input fields. Each of them labeled user ID, password, etc. Each of them having their own input types based on what type of data is received, the name of the input that's received, that it sends it as, and the placeholder, which is just sort of what is populated in the field to begin with. Special note the text password information, because down here in the input type submit section, once the submit button below is clicked, it returns what the result of sending check password, the text password input is. This is the videos.html file for the website. It contains the video links for the website. The head block is the same except for the title, which differs only there. In the body we have a div block with the navigation bar again. The div block down here is a fluid container containing two unordered lists, as can be seen over here, each of them with a paragraph label above it, just to indicate which video links are there. Each of the unordered list items are just the direct links to the videos provided. This is the thankyou.html page, which displays if registration was successful on the website. The head block is the same, again, except for the title. In the body section, we just have the navigation bar code block as usual. And down here, we have a simple fluid container with a thank you for registering inside of the code block, as can be seen over here. This is the sitestyle.css file, the style sheet used by the website. This contains some information for a header and paragraph, such things like font family, which fonts are supposed to be used, that sort of thing, size and sort of the weight of the font and everything. Down here we have the link specifications, including things like whether or not it's been visited, what color it's supposed to be, whether or not it's supposed to be underlined. Here we have an ID for main content, which contains some font family specifications, how big the font's supposed to be, weight, and everything else. Down here we have some button specifications, whether or not it's being hovered over, if it's an active button, things like the width of the font, again, preferred fonts that are used in the font family section, background colors, that sort of thing. Down here we have field information. Primarily it was used for the field information on the registration page. This contains some padding and width and size information for those elements. Here we have the mobiletest.me website emulating on an iPhone for the Assignment 9 website. Here we have the home page. You can see the evenly split elements, the bio on the left, the photo on the right with the caption, and the working like button. Resized, obviously, in the photo and everything else to match that device size, because it's a fluid container. The video section here contains some working links to the videos we specified. The registration page, we can demonstrate that by entering just a sort of random user name here. Get all that information in, and do that, and there we go, hit submit. We should get the error message. There it is, password does not pass validation. Making all the requirements to see that it does, adding the upper and lowercase and so on. We should get the thank you for. This is to answer question number 2 from the assignment, since I answered question number 1 in the home.html section of the video. 2 elements from the Bootstrap framework that I could use in addition on the website. One of those things would be the image carousel, which is basically a nice little image rotator. It cycles through images in a nice display. I could use this in, say, a photography section because I do amateur photography, showing some of the photos that I've taken and maybe use different themes for different carousels. Another thing I could use is the popover plugin, which is basically a pop-up flexible container that's, once you click on an element, it'll pop up containing whatever you wanted to put inside of there. I could use this, for example, in the bio section of the page. Just want to say diminish the size of the block of text that I've got here. Just include maybe things like history or interests or schooling, and just have those elements be clickable and then display specific content within each of those instead of having the block